Primarily, we focused on a couple of incidents that we had taken place at the University of Tennessee football stadium with mass sheltering. One of the events pertained to game stoppage, where the game was actually being played and we stopped due to severe weather. The other incident was pre-game, where we stopped allowing people to come into the stadium and had them directed to shelter locations. So we discussed some of the dynamics that went into that, the planning that actually goes into preparing for a large event like this, and the plan for having a shelter or evacuation type event. And then from there, Brian focused on the pieces that had to deal with the outside portion and some of the lessons learned from our events.
So what we noticed, since we became this, having an annual event of sheltering, we got to learn a lot about what works. We really focused on crowd dynamics. That was a big part of things we could adjust, and communication. So if we change our communication a little bit and use all the assets available to us, we can affect the crowd dynamics and get people to take the right action for their own safety. We didn't have good crowd cooperation the first time, and each time we do it, we're getting a little better about using the Jumbotron. Having staff that are better trained and decentralized control so that they can make decisions and affect the crowd and get people to respect that there's a threat and follow the directions of the university.
Well, and that was really the things Brian talked about, was really the goal of our presentation. We wanted to let people know, share some of the mistakes that we made, and then more importantly, we wanted them to know what worked right and some things to look at and to identify in their planning process. So if in the unlikely event that something like this did happen to a venue they were responsible for, they would have a good idea about, how to go, what direction to take with their planning and their implementation of that plan.